You can't move?
Yeah.
You're like a goddess right
mermaid.
now. I feel like you're like a goddess.
Hello.
Hello. Wait, did we turn on the phone or the internet?
Yeah, but you have to remember where you are.
Okay, well, I'm like right next to you. Hold this for a second. Just hold this like this and I'll just know that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of room. Plenty of room. I like how we've been matching the last couple.
Yes.
It's really fun. Okay. It's so bright, I'm like blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. That's not our intro. Where's my pick? We're having a slow start. We're having a slow start. All right. Here we are. Practice. You're singing. You're like, no.
I can't remember the words all of a sudden.
I think this is like the time, like the point of the night where everyone's just like da da blah blah blah. Okay. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne?
Kind of reminded me when Green Day did it for MTV Countdown. Remember that?
That's really good.
That was great.
When was that?
Early 2000s, definitely.
So we can't do a recap on that.
You can recap it. Welcome to Two Aging Millennials.
Welcome.
Talking about Green Day.
Yes, because that's exactly. And today, 'tis the season.
Tis the season.
This is one of my favorite inexpensive sparkling wines. I guess you can't call it champagne unless it's from champagne. So we have a Sophia. I don't only like it because it's my name.
She does only like it because
And it's really great. It's Francis Coppola, and it's like a great go-to.
Happy New Year! Remember that New Year where we were sitting on the floor eating cheese?
Oh, that was a fun one.
That was a fun one. At the
So
Garston
wait,
house.
are we allowed to recap that year?
Yeah, because it's in the.
Because it's in the decade.
It's in the. So we are doing a decade in review. We're going into a new decade, guys. 2020.
So we're just gonna chat about things like where we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What's been going on.
2010. That was a good year.
It was a good year. I can't remember.
2 years after college.
Yes. So we graduated 2008, and
I think we were starting Alionia in 2010. Cheers. We were one of Nasty Gal's biggest competitors when they first started. We were written up. We were written up to be.
So, wait. So 2010, we were both in New York.
Back from college.
And Anaya and a few of our other friends were starting this like e-com, custom vintage, like repurposed vintage.
We were studding shit, ripping them.
We were like doing screen prints on tote bags and then studding them.
Having great parties.
Good party. It was mostly parties, to be honest.
Mostly parties.
So at the time,
We had
so
a
you guys
back-end
were starting
person in
that.
Costa Rica.
We did?
Yeah, that's where our person was, Costa Rica.
Oh.
We were like
I thought Naomi did all of that.
No, we were paying someone to do that. And then she did a lot of it because that person didn't do so well. So.
So 2010,
Before
you guys were
Instagram.
all yeah, or maybe it was
No.
Instagram around?
No, it was before Instagram.
It was?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Facebook was still
And
the
Twitter,
jam.
I think people did.
A little bit.
A little bit.
So, but not like.
But not a lot.
Yeah.
I remember.
And I was brought on to be the stylist.
Okay, so you were brought on to be the stylist, and I was brought on to be the photographer.
Yes.
But I wasn't actually like one of the initial group.
No, it was just 2 people.
It was 2 people, and then like a few more came on, and then I think I was actually the last person in because, or maybe you were.
No, I think we came on like when we did the first shoot.
Right. So what happened was, I was always like taking pictures.
I think you were always in it because it was just.
Yeah, but I remember having a conversation with Naomi, and they were trying to figure out like how they were gonna get their pictures done.
Yeah, and styling and stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
and so I like looked at some of the photographers' portfolios that they were showing me, like who should we use. I was like, you know, I feel like none of these people are that good. And then she was like, "Oh, well, can you shoot it?" Because she knew I was always
doing photography, but she hadn't started
her photography career. No, I just always did it as like a hobby.
Yeah.
So Naomi actually literally said, "Well, you know, you can like keep some of the clothes."
Yes.
And so I was like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we started Aliomi, and you were styling, and I was shooting.
And it was a good time. It was a good run.
It was a good time. But the other thing that was happening for me right then was I had gotten a job on Craigslist. So I graduated from college. I was pre-med because, long story short, I like wanted a path of my life and like I wanted to know what I was doing.
And that's a fair thing. Like I thought I was going to go to law school.
Yeah.
Not that these careers are easy, but
no, but at least
they're a direct path.
Yes,
you know what you're going to do right after versus the different path that we took.
And you know that you're going to have a job. I mean, granted, if you can like get through the school, which is way
rigorous
easier said than done, obviously. But so I was pre-med, interning at Sloan Kettering.
Oh yeah.
And this is like probably the year before, so I shouldn't be talking about this. But then the reason I'm bringing it up is because I it wasn't really my thing. And so I was searching for something else, like literally searching, and at the time, Craigslist was the place.
Craigslist was the place.
And it was like kind of sketchy, but people like still got jobs off of Craigslist.
I looked at jobs on Craigslist all
and
the
like
time.
Apartments for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Craigslist
still around? Probably not anymore.
I think it's probably around.
There was the Craigslist killer. I think they really got a lot of bad press after that.
Yeah, that's bad. So I got a job on Craigslist for a nightclub that was starting.
Yes, it was not just a nightclub. It was a members-only club, like how there's so many members-only clubs now.
But it was before primarily a nightclub that was trying to do members only.
Yeah.
And I got brought on to like do anything and everything. And so we were able to throw all of our parties at this club.
We also did it at another place downtown on the Lower East Side. Not Lower East Side, it was in the corner. Remember there was one?
Baddies.
Yes,
that was a good
Baddies.
spot. That was a nice spot.
Yeah.
We did Baddies. We did Hotel Chantal.
Yeah.
Up on the roof.
Those were good days.
Those were some good parties. And the craziest thing was like, we somehow figured out how to get everything sponsored.
We got things sponsored. We had great press.
We got great press.
I'll drop in some of our press.
Yes. Teen Vogue.
Yeah. Like Refinery 29.
MTV.
Oh yeah, MTV.
We had really
great press. When I say we were a Nasty Gal competitor, press-wise, we were.
Probably guest of a guest.
Back end, we weren't. Back end, not so much.
Back end, it was
the product, not so much.
Yeah. The product, no, I still have some Aliomi pieces.
No, we had worn one. But that's not for the year in review.
You're right. I'll wear it.
Next time we can. I have one of my. I have the tank top. We could totally bring those back.
Yeah, we could bring it back.
So yeah, 2010.
That was 2010.
President Obama was the president.
Yes. First term
Obama. What else was going on in the world in 2010? There was not, Stella wasn't here yet. There was not an Eric
in the
yet.
world.
Stella wasn't here.
In the world, Stella was not a thing.
In the world, Stella.
I had not yet met Eric.
Mm-hmm. We both had different people.
You hadn't met Michele.
No. Yeah, it was
yeah.
Remember that time when I said, Billy, get your sandwich.
Yeah, the Aliomi photo shoots were stressful.
And working with friends.
It is. It can be hard.
That's a topic that we should cover. We do have that on our topics list, actually.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But that was a great experience for us. And this past 10 years, I think we talked about pre-Instagram.
It was pre-Instagram. Or, to be honest though, if Instagram was around, which it might have been, we weren't on it.
It definitely wasn't. Remember?
You don't think so?
Do you remember our conversation with Instagram about like who cares about like what I'm posting? That we were like discussing about like posting in the like no one cared. It just was another social media thing for us because we were of the generation of Facebook.
Yeah.
That started it.
But I remember Twitter was around and I had started Twitter
For the gates.
Yeah, I did Twitter for the nightclub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
they had just started like coming out with like I remember paperless posts had just started.
Yes.
So they were starting to do like some techie type of things, but it was very
influencer wasn't a job.
No,
wasn't a job.
It was blogger. It was all about the bloggers.
It was just starting blogger because I worked at Topshop and I remember talking to Leandra Medina of Man Repeller when she was starting, and we're like, yeah, this girl might be going someplace. And we had to like have social media classes, and because I was the youngest one on the team, I was the one who had to do the social media classes, and it was like,
who did you take the classes from?
Someone in London. I hired a social media expert, so it was all via Skype or like.
That's actually really cool.
And it was about, but it was that's why we know it was before Instagram, because we were focused on Facebook marketing.
I think I hired my friend Blair to give me some social media classes.
I do remember that was Blair's jam. It was a new game back then.
She did me a solid. I was $25 a class.
Yeah.
And I did 4 classes. I paid her $100, and like she taught me all about like Twitter. Maybe at that point it was Instagram, but I don't think so.
And Kian was doing Google Analytics with us.
Yeah.
We were just trying to learn, like openly trying to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I remember that, and
a good time.
Reaching out. It was this change of bloggers getting into the market of the fashion industry.
Yeah,
and camera phones weren't good then, and like, so no one was competing with that quality.
That's true.
People weren't using Lightroom and Photoshop casually, and
like if you go back to the posts, it's so funny when you like look back at your posts from there, because they're just, and everyone was using the borders. Do you remember there were borders?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I remember.
I think we're more like in 2011 now, or maybe
with the borders. Yeah, we're getting into 2011, 2012.
Because then we were like Instagramming it up.
Yes, the borders.
Wait, so you were at Topshop?
I was at Topshop
until
I think it was 2011 or 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it was around then.
And then what did you do?
I went to Morgan's from Topshop.
Yeah, Morgan's Hotel Group. That was
It was fun, but it wasn't fun.
No, but it was like a cool job.
It was a cool job. The company was not great, which, you know, it's public record. But it was a fun, like I got to go to Art Basel for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like you did a lot of cool stuff there.
And Art Basel was not as saturated with brands as it is then. That's the difference between now and difference between now and then. We went to Coachella, remember that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So that was
2012?
No, it was, maybe it was 2012.
I think it was 2012 we did Coachella.
Yeah.
That was some good time. That was like Coachella. And Coachella wasn't as saturated with brands.
We didn't do it well.
That cab line, my gosh.
It was bad. There was no Uber. There was no Uber.
There was no Uber.
And so we would wait in this cab line in the freezing cold desert after like having been there all day and freeze.
And back in the day, living in Brooklyn with no Uber. Remember, oh my god, I lived in Gramercy at one point. I remember what that was.
That was a situation.
But living with no Uber in Brooklyn was tough because I had to leave, like I couldn't leave at 2 a.m. So it was either I'm going to leave before 2 or after 2 because of the cab rush.
Oh, because at 2,
remember
everyone was trying to get...
And the changeover of duties.
So you knew all the...
It was like crazy times.
Yeah.
It was crazy times.
I just remember standing on the streets for so long trying to find a cab.
Trying to catch a cab.
Yeah, and you would like run down the street.
Yes, I would always just start running and start sprinting.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the days.
That was crazy.
And so in 10 years, what do you think, like what is happening now that you don't think you could have imagined 10 years ago? Like a daily part of your life now, or a regular
part of my life.
Or a regular part of it.
I mean, on like a personal level, just having a kid has been the biggest game changer for me.
Yeah.
That was 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge game changer. I mean, I got married in 2014.
Yeah.
She was a bridesmaid. And that was like, but that wasn't like a big game changer. That sort of still felt like normal.
But could you have seen it in 2010? 2010, yeah.
I don't know, because you know what? Even though, like, I know a lot of people get married really young, I feel like for us, like, it was younger than, like, it was young.
Yeah. that you got married?
Yeah.
Yeah, for our group it was. Yeah, because a lot of people watching, and we have people from all over the country get married younger than in New York
under
City.
25, like easy.
Yeah, and especially in our industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
So
yeah, maybe
that
not.
was a big sort of thing, but that didn't feel like a big change. But then yeah, like definitely having Stella, and then after like Aliomi, I started working as a photographer. Yeah, I was trying to. Oh, I forgot. Oh my God, this might have been pre. Damn it! This actually like ages me so much when I then think like it's in the same decade. I was a rep. Carolyn got me the job for Glenmorangie Scotch.
Oh yeah.
And I would literally on the weekends, they got me like a Zipcar account. And I would have to conduct tastings around liquor stores in New Jersey, Long Island, and sometimes around the city. And I'd have to go to the supermarket, get grapes and cheese, make a cheese plate, and then conduct these Scotch tastings all day long. But it was a great job. I made a lot of money. They even paid me for travel.
Who was
time.
it?
Glenmorangie.
Just in case you guys want to sponsor
Glenmorangie.
Wow.
I've been with you since the beginning. They've been around a long time before. But it was a great job. But you know what's funny? And like I think you and I both were sort of the same in this way, is that we were both like kind of from the beginning, like figuring out any which way to make things work.
Yes, and I think that remember when I got the job at the fashion director at the Kids magazine? I was like, I've never been a fashion director before, and Sophie said to me, "You could figure it out."
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
She was
all right. We gotta figure it out. And we produced that photo
and we
shoot.
did a shoot together.
And so I think that that's a question that does come up a lot when I do like Ask Anythings on Instagram about my job and how I do say like kind of fell into it, and you and I both have that like hustle spirit, like let's figure this out. I think I could do this. I want to do this. Like Sophie just started a new business, Click House.
Yes.
So I guess it's tell the people.
So basically, I'm always asked like where to get your headshot done, and a lot of the times I'm not available to do it. And like sometimes I'll go into companies and do them, but not as much anymore just because I had other projects. So I really have never been able to say like, oh well, you should definitely go here and like recommend this. I know a lot of photographers who are great, but a lot of them are charging more than like an individual probably wants to pay.
That 2010, I didn't know that I would be spending so much time in Italy.
Yes.
But
you were traveling when did you start your blog In a Perfect World?
I started my blog probably when I did the fashion director. It's probably 2012 or 13. It's been over 5 years, but I think it's 2012 or 13. I can't remember which. I have to look it up. I look at LinkedIn. That's how I remember things. Because I started the PR consulting.
I remember when you sent out the first email about your blog.
Yes, it was around this time of year. It was December.
Yeah,
it was
and I remember you just like had a
Salida.
few articles up.
Yeah,
and you just like sent it out and to probably friends and family. And
exactly.
You were like, I started this blog. And
and now I'm figuring out the next phase of it and like trying to make more money with it.
Yeah,
because that's always the goal. I like making money.
Yeah. But wait, back to the spirit of you figure things out. Like, I don't know if you tell people this, but she does matchmaking.
Oh yes, I don't really tell people.
Oh, she's a matchmaker on the side.
Yes, to make extra money.
Just in case you need a match.
If you need a match, but
contact her.
Limited clients. Yes.
She actually has really fancy clients, but I cannot name them. But she does have fancy clients.
We can't name names,
but you are a matchmaker.
Yeah,
on the side.
Yeah, and I've specialized in high-end. A lot of high-end Black people. That's
but it's great. It's such an amazing niche.
Yeah. So because we were very good, both of us are very good at putting people together, and that's how I fell into it.
And you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
You do enjoy it.
I do enjoy it because of the people.
Yes, you make relationships and it's fun.
And they're fun and they're really great and they're very inspirational people. I just saw one of my former clients in London because she moved there for work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you kept in touch.
Oh yeah, with a good
amount. And did the match work out?
No, well, she left the country.
So that's why.
But now I'm setting her up with a friend in London just for fun.
Oh, that's
because I think that they'll get along. You've met her actually. She came to one of our dinners.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think that they'll get along. So
that's awesome.
I mean, in 10 years, I think that. What are you excited for the next decade?
More like good things with work. Like I'm definitely doing a big sort of overhaul. It's always like a work-life balance, you know, trying to do both. And I think I've sort of finally gotten that like a bit under control. And now, yeah, just trying to like really create work that I'm proud of. I think that's like a really big thing for me, and continue to create personal work. I think for a long time I was very, I was sort of going from like commission to commission to commission, which is great. I'm not complaining about that. I'm really proud that I was able to really create a real career. However, I think sometimes along the way, like, you get lost and you stop really like remembering why you wanted to do this in the first place.
That's fair.
So really, like, you know,
Cheers
I started,
to that.
So I'm excited about creating more work, creating beautiful images, and, you know, doing like other things around it. And I think one of the cool things that has sort of happened in this decade is that you're able to really shape things in a way because of social media that you couldn't do before.
Absolutely. And you're able to say your message, create your voice.
Yeah, create your voice, and also like make it what you want, you know. It's like we both enjoy doing, you know, things on air, and like
we're gonna have a show in the next decade.
Like, we both enjoy this type of thing. And I think 10 years ago people would have been like, wait, like, you're a photographer, why are you doing a show? Or you're a travel writer, what are you doing?
What are you doing? That, I think that's the best thing that's happened in the last 10 years, that there's people breaking the boxes of, this is your job, that's the only thing you can do.
Right.
And there's so many people have turned hobbies into careers, or even turned hobbies into lucrative side hustle. It's like the decade of the side hustle.
Yeah.
That I think that you see so many people turning their passion into jobs, or
figuring
even
out how to do it. Like, and you sort of look at it and you're like, what? How did they do that? But I actually just heard this great thing. I've been listening to podcasts lately, even just when I'm like running around, like walking places.
Another thing of the last 10 years, podcasts.
But there's this one that my friend Eliza just started called Leave Your Mark.
Okay.
And she had Jill Kargman on it, who did Odd Mom Out.
Oh,
the show.
yes.
But she also is like a brilliant,
I styled
writer,
her
comedian.
for Scene magazine.
Oh my God, she's hysterical.
Yeah, she's so good.
I was just listening to Eliza's like recent episode with her, and I really liked, she asked Jill what her advice would be, and it was better to be sorry than safe. Because, you know, everyone says better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And she switched it around, and she's like, better to be sorry than safe. Like, take the risk.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like that.
I like that. Along the lines, I believe in ask forgiveness, not permission. So I
think it's along a similar
like, I like that.
And I really enjoyed.
Take the risk, figure it out, and that's more, I think we'll see more of that in the next decade. I think that there's just companies like we mentioned, Uber, Facebook, so many different companies broke the mold of what could be jobs, what people need, and I think there's going to be more of that, and young millennial entrepreneurs. Next is going to be Gen Z, I guess, taking over that reign. So we'll see. Yeah.
But what's next for you? I mean, you're sort of now back and forth from Italy.
Yes. More settling in the next decade. That figuring out where I want to be and what side of the pond I want to be on. It's harder for me because I much prefer US for my friends and work opportunities, and Italy is a little backwards in terms of that, or slower than the US. It's hard to compare. You can't compare like the US market, it's just different, and a bigger market. Yeah. And so it's figuring that out in the next decade, that balance, because that's been the hardest for me in the last few years. So.
But exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
In a fun place.
I'm in a fun place, and
And I want to go to Italy in the next decade.
I hope you make it in the next decade. A decade sounds like such a long time, but time has flown by.
Yes, because I keep thinking of things that I want to recap from our last decade, and it's before
like what?
Like a lot of the stuff I talked about. Like, I think when I was a rep, like it might have been.
We were there during the crash, the great
2008.
Yeah,
that was when we graduated from college. Yeah. Which might have been some of the reasons why everyone had to sort of figure their own stuff out.
Exactly.
There weren't as many job opportunities and stuff.
Yeah, we were like kind of have that same vibe as the baby boomer generation, except like building the new world. Yeah, and we did.
We're doing it. We're working on it.
We're
making it happen. We'll see what happens.
We'll see where the dice falls for the world.
Yes.
For the world. So welcome to the next decade, guys.
Welcome.
And
Welcome.
it won't be about, we're getting like further and further from being the it generation with every decade.
It's okay. You know, a friend was talking to me last night about our show, and he's like, it's so ridiculous that you guys say two aging millennials. Like, what does that make me? And I was like, honestly, I'm pretty sure that being a millennial starts in 83.
Yes.
Is that correct? Or
I
is
think
it 80?
so. No, it's 83.
Okay. So anyway, but it was funny because he was born before 80. So then he's like, I was like, but I don't even think you are millennial. So like, we are an aging millennial.
We are.
You're
Someone
just
said it when I was in Detroit last week. She laughed about something and she goes, "I'm an aging millennial," and I said,
Was she our age?
Yeah, she was like a year older than us. Yeah. So I
yeah.
sent her the link.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
So yes, we are aging millennials, but we are the people that are going to change. We're of the generation that's like on the cusp for leadership, and in all spheres, in politics and companies, and so it's kind of up to our generation. Gen Z is like setting the tone, but we're the ones in the decision-making power right now.
Some Gen Z and some even younger people.
Yeah, but they're not CEOs of companies.
I know, but they're making changes in other ways. Look at Greta. Not my
Greta.
mom, Greta, but sorry. When I hear Greta, I know it's like the stupidest thing ever. But like my mom's
That's
name
your mom.
is Greta.
That's totally
So if
fair.
I hear a Greta name, I'm definitely gonna think of my mom. And she's very conscious about recycling
Your
and
mom
sustainability.
and she's also Scandinavian. There's
And she's
there's
Scandinavian.
so many similarities.
You know, I mean, I think that they would be buds.
I think they actually really
Yeah,
would be
maybe
fun.
we're like related somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Greta, if you're out there, where we believe in you, call us. Say what's up. I don't
Maybe,
know.
you know, we'll be there at your next march.
One goal for the next decade.
I had Stella at her march.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One goal for the next decade.
I think just be true to yourself. Like, this is always a goal for me, but it's always, you know, you can't worry about, you can't like, you can't be a follower, you have to be a leader.
I like that.
And it doesn't matter what you think like might be cool or like a trend at the moment, but it's really leading and doing what you think is right.
Yes.
And something that like it's a good reminder to like keep in your head. I mean, for me.
I like that.
So that's like my general.
I like that.
My general goal. What about you?
Create work that I'm proud of and touches people.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, you're well on your way.
Thank you.
You are. Cheers. Happy New Year.
Cheers. Happy New Year, guys.